Good morning, you guys. Oh, yeah. Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize God in you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Everyone's life. Every creed and color. The kids should unite in honor of God and each other. Girl, take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
All right. Good morning to all of you here. There's still room down here, folks. So if you've been thinking about coming in to join us, just get on there and pre-register, at least for a little while longer. And things are looking up that way. And however you may be watching, or even whenever you are watching, just know that you are most welcome. And I also want to say that on behalf of myself, Reverend Nicole, the presider this morning, our music team, Ken and Jason, our online support team, our Senta Seva team, from the flowers to the cleanup, the check-in people, all that stuff, that we are committed. We are committed to bringing you an experience of the divine so that you can not only raise yourself, but raise those around you. And so I say again, welcome. And so we're going to start by taking a deep conscious breath and releasing and just allowing ourselves to surrender to this moment, this eternal now moment, as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Now, fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nicole lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who as yet are unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we hold for them here at our center, within our online community, and within our own hearts. And as Nikki lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own souls. There is one flame, one light within.
It's with a grateful heart I recognize this one power, this one flame, this one soul, this one love that I choose to call God, Spirit, Universe. I know I am connected to this source, and I know each and every one here online or those watching later are connected to this source. I know and I declare that this service is perfect in the mind of God. It's a divine plan that we all join together today. Our musicians are blessed, our AV is blessed, and our speakers, words of wisdom flow gracefully and easily. We're open at the top as these words fill our hearts, our souls, our minds, and we just expand, going deeper and deeper into our awareness of our connection to this source, that we are never alone, no matter what is going on. We are this source. And I'm just so very grateful for my beloved community, for this opportunity to share, and just for my very life here, right now and today, at this moment. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just release my word to the law that loves me so. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning, my beloved community. I'm so happy to be with you here today, and those online, welcome. So I went to lunch with one of my tennis daughters the other day, and she was telling me how things are so challenging right now and how she wishes she was in Europe. Life seemed so much better when she was in Europe. And then last week I was talking to my friend in Europe. He can't wait to get here. He got a job in Boston and he's waiting for his visa to come through. So he can't wait to get here in to Boston. He can't wait to get here in Boston. And it made me go back to a time a few years ago where I was really unhappy in my job. And I just wanted to find another place to work. And guess what? I got a job opportunity at a different location. And I moved to the location, and guess what? I still wasn't very happy. I was actually curled up on my couch in the fetal position, just miserable and crying. Why me? Everything seems so hard. I thought I'd be happier at this other location, and yet I really wasn't. And during that time, I was taking practitioner classes, and I grew and grew in my awareness that outside circumstances doesn't cause my happiness. I have to be here right now and inside. My happiness comes from within. I'm responsible for my own happiness. It doesn't matter what the condition is around me. I didn't sleep very well last night, and I've had a bit of a challenging week, which is why I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to share this message with you today. And I was laying awake thinking, well, what are some things I've been saying to myself this past week? Well, when COVID's over, I'll be happier. I'll be able to go to the gym without a mask. Well, when I lose weight, I'll be happier. When I have that perfect relationship, I'll be happier. And like my friend, when he gets here from London, when he gets to Boston, he'll be happier and his life can start. And my friend, my tennis daughter, well, maybe if I go to Europe, I'll be happier. Well, the thing is that wherever we go, there we are. And so our happiness really has to come from within. We have to be right here and right now, discovering our happiness within ourselves, knowing that source and supply. It's my happiness. It comes to me. And so I need to create it. It's not an outside condition. It doesn't matter about COVID. If I'm not happy with COVID, I'm not going to be happy without COVID. I really need to learn how to center myself and find my happiness. So I was looking through our textbook, and Ernest Holmes has a whole lot of quotes about happiness. And so I was looking through, and what he was really talking about is doing treatment. What's a treatment? It's our prayer. It's the way we connect to our source, knowing that we are one with source. And he says that a treatment is a statement to the law, embodying the concrete idea, our desires, and are accompanied by an unqualified faith that the law works for us as we work with it. Let us waste no further time looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. It's all within us. He also says mental or spiritual treatment should bring into actual manifestation health and happiness, which are our divine right. It's our divine right to be happy. It's our divine right to be healthy. It's when we get caught up in the outside conditions thinking that if something would change, then I would be happier. If I moved to Boston, if I moved to Europe, I would be happier. How do we find that happiness within ourselves right here and right now? Right now, this moment, right now, how do we feel? We don't have to go 5 minutes from now, but right now, I am so happy right now. I'm here with all of you and all of you online. It's right here, right now. It's this moment. He also says, there's nothing arising out of the past that can disturb me. That's the past. The past, the present, the future are unbroken streams of good, unbroken streams of God. And Curtis Hopkins says, my God is my good. So happiness and wholeness fill my entire being with the realization of love and perfection. I am one with life. I am one with my happiness. There's nothing in the universe that will deny us our right to be happy except for our own mental condition, whatever we're thinking. If we want something better, something, just thinking life could get better, better, better. Be here, and right now. So what I want to leave you with as we're going through is that let us be happy to begin right here where we are and grow. Grow from this place. Grow with our connection of source, knowing that within me is that happiness that we can flower and bring to the world. So for that and so much more, I say thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see you. Quick, I just want to say happy birthday to Chloe, by the way. Happy birthday, Chloe. And I also just wanted to say, because I just found out that two good friends, Mike and Tomorrow, the moving trucks are coming on Tuesday. They are moving, and I wanted to say that we love you. I just wanted to say that because I love you guys. Today, our special guest is Mr. Jason Goldstein.
Thank you, guys. I am here every weekend, but it's very special. every weekend. This is one of my favorite songs, and I think I need this today. I need to be reminded of this today. So you all do too. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see the trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do, but what they're really saying is I love you. Dun, 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 dun. Babies cry, I watch them grow. They're much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I did first service service, so I've gotten to listen to this twice, and it only gets better. So, Jason, thank you. So wonderful. So I want to welcome our friends and new people who have never been here before. Thank you for joining us today. We have membership if you would like to join this wonderful community. I know this community has really been my rock and my stronghold, especially during that fetal position on the couch for 9 months where I rebirthed myself. So it's if you're interested in membership, we have Andrea, our president, who's here. You could talk to any one of us, our practitioners. We would love for you to join our community. It's such a special, special place. Our announcements for today are for September 26th. If you would like prayer support, Sherry's online, or those of us here, we can do prayer outside the sanctuary if you need after service. The Zoom today, Reverend Elizabeth is hosting our Zoom fellowship at 11:45. There is bereavement support group online today at 1 o'clock with Reverend Jessica and Reverend Kathy. Do you do that too also? Yeah, no? It's Reverend Jessica. All right, and then coming up, we have great classes coming up. Reverend Mike will be starting the advanced metaphysical class Tuesdays at 6:30. This is for anyone who wants to really deepen their spiritual awareness. For those of you who are interested in practitioner training, this is also another path for the practitioner training. I will have a class coming up in November, Creating Success and Living Intentionally in 2022, where we'll create intentions to manifest our best 2022, so keep posted for that. Law of Attraction is online on October 10th at 1 p.m., and our fall, spring is postponed and will be in spring of 2022. So that will be, hopefully. And I just want to say tomorrow, and Mike, best of luck on your new chapter. You've been such a loving presence at this church, and I know I personally will miss you, as I know all of us will. So enjoy your new home, and you can join us online, right? So, all right, if everyone will please stand if you wish and join me in our declaration of principles. We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes his presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to our faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
One, two, three, four.
Heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of me. Oh, spirit and nature, within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of you. Yes, heaven's inside of you. Oh, spirit and nature, within and without. Now that you know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of us. Yes, heaven's inside of us. Oh, spirit
Nicely done. And so if you're on chat, you can give the musicians some love on chat. I don't know if you guys ever go back and check it, but sometimes they're saying nice things about you behind your back.
Really?
Yeah, so you should go on there and check it out. And so it's great to have you with us here. In case I forgot to introduce myself, my name's Reverend Mike McMorrow, and I am the senior minister here and you are at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. It's in the North San Fernando Valley, if you've ever been out this way. And so wherever you are, whenever you are, welcome. And so we've been working with this theme for the month of reaching higher, and we had been amazed all month long about the one-legged mountain climber here, and our talk title today, "And Still I Rise." So in spite of losing a limb, still I rise. And so I don't know why I didn't think about doing this before, but what's more inspiring than Yosemite, right? So I thought I'd throw that up there while we're doing our thing this morning. And I wanted to kick off today by starting with this idea. I know there is a power for good. I know there is a power for good which is responding to me and bringing into my experience everything that is necessary for my unfoldment. Now, I know it's early, but let's say this together. I know there is a power for good which is responding to me and bringing into my experience everything that is necessary to my unfoldment. Let's do it one more time now we got the hang of it. I know there is a power for good which is responding to me and bringing into my experience everything that is necessary to my unfoldment. So that's right. And this is not only an inspiring affirmation, but it can really be an overarching truth when we know it to be the truth of our life, a truth principle for our life and mine, your life and mine, when we allow it to be. So here's the thing about this, that this power for good uses every part of our experience, every part, right? The joyous and the challenging, the pleasure and the pain, right? The fetal position on the sofa and the victory on the tennis court, right? To guide us into having a deeper awareness and knowingness of itself, of the Spirit having a knowingness of itself by means of your life and mine and everyone else too. Now this is a much broader notion of what the divine is than maybe we're used to thinking about unless we come to a New Thought church. But in this way, in God, nothing is wasted. In God, nothing is wasted. So all of our life experiences are used by the power of good, enabling us to help others and to bless the whole world. So we start with our own consciousness. Right? We clean house within our own consciousness, for we cannot give away something we haven't got. So we start within our own consciousness, and then in raising, really without even making an effort to do so oftentimes, because we are working in consciousness. We raise the consciousness, the vibration, the thinking, the expression of the lives of those around us. So today we're going to focus on this idea that in God nothing is wasted. And we're going to do this without playing let's pretend. We're going to focus on it because right here in our own center, there's real suffering going on. Even as we remember that suffering is a temporary condition. And the whole money thing, That's only a small part of it. So even the most well-off among us, have been touched by death and the grief that goes along with that. And that within our group, there's medical stuff going on. So Cami H is starting major treatment this week. Margie R is preparing to do some major surgery. That we have 3 or 4 folks who are recovering from surgery and the pain that goes along with that. A couple of folk are trying to find an affordable place to live. A couple within our own center in this modern day and age is feeling the sting of racial discrimination at the supermarket. Young Sebastian, Melissa's son, broke his arm on the monkey bars. And still others are dealing with the pressure of trying to pull it all together because the end of the month beckons. So how to find all the money to make that happen? And if you own a business, right, the quarterlies are due. Others are simply on overwhelm with COVID and politics, or maybe because they simply cried themselves to sleep last night. So there's real stuff going on. And I don't want to pretend like there's not. And so if you're feeling like you're out there on that ledge alone, right? We're not pretending. We're not going to pretend that everything is okay. Because if you happen to be one of these folks, you're not okay, and I get that. But you are here now. You're here now physically, you're here now online, and I am here to be with you, that we are here to be with you, to know the truth with you, because whatever you're going through, we know what it feels like to be out on that ledge and feel like you're on your own. But you know, even in looking at this photograph, it's good to remember that someone had to take it, right? So you're not out there on your own. And at times like this, even though we don't want to stay here, it's sometimes good to remember that there is no resurrection without the crucifixion first. All of our problems come from trying to rise before we surrender to our own crucifixion. Now, this is some pretty heavy imagery, I know, right? But we are here. We're here together right now, whether we are here in the room physically or here on joining together online. We're here together. So let's just put our hand on our heart for a moment and just take a deep breath. And just release, and just feel the oneness of that simple exercise, taking a deep breath. Inhale and the exhale. Because even with all that real stuff that's going on, there is still an inner urge within our own minds nudging us to grow, to expand, to break down the barriers of previous limitation, to ever widen our experience. That this persistent urge is a divine influence, an irresistible force, and really constitutes the greatest impulse in human experience. So we are not alone. It feels like we are sometimes. But particularly if you are a person within a spiritual community, and if you are here for the first time or a long-time member or just checking in online, you is one of us, There's no getting, or even moving to Henderson, Nevada. You is one of us. By the way, my prayer partner is Reverend Cheryl, and so they're over there in Greater Las Vegas. I already told them you're coming, so be prepared to be put to work when you get there. So Reverend Cheryl and Stacy Hilton out in the Greater Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. Because there is a persistent urge, which is a divine influence, an irresistible force, and constitute the greatest impulse in human experience. And when we're part of spiritual community, that doesn't go away, whether it's online or through the week. So I'll bet you this week you're going to be humming to yourself, "Heaven's inside of me," right? So there'll be something that you're going to hang on to, that you're going to take through the week with you. So I found this in an old Science of Mind book this week, that I realize now that the only true restorative power in man's life is of spirit. The only true restorative power in man's life is spirit. Right? It's not moving. It's not getting the new car, a bigger house, a better husband. Well, it might be a better husband. I don't know. That's up to you. Right? The only true restorative power in man's life, in our life, is the life of spirit. The answer to any need, the meeting of our want, the restoration of our experiences to wholesomeness, now comes as we turn to and accept the infinite love and untroubled wisdom of spirit, that we release the tension within the pain body and feel the loosening and release of pain with each exhale. With each inhale, let's just do that. Let's inhale. With each inhale, we know we breathe in the healing power of wholeness and restoration. With each exhale, there is a deepening within our connection to the wellspring of love itself. With each inhale, we know this truth for our fellows. With each exhale, we are knowing this deepening connection to the wellspring of love itself, that this too we know for our fellows. And that in this knowing, in knowing this, we prove the power and presence at work in, through, and as our life right now. And by the way, it's not really required that we crucify ourselves to create our good. We do not need to create struggle so that we can feel something a little deeper in order that we can grow spiritually. We do not need to crucify ourselves to create good in our life. Rather, if we find ourselves suffering to such an extent that crucifixion looks like the easier, softer way, we can reframe the situation and to know that resurrection is available. So we can always look on the bright side of life. Okay, whistle with me. Okay, too many Americans in here. Nobody knows Monty Python. All right. But the thing to remember is to know that we don't have to create. We don't have to crucify ourselves to have a different experience of life, that there is a divine urge within everyone to know more, to be more, to express more. And I have found that the thing we are searching for is the thing we are searching with. So this comes out of, I believe, out of creative mind and success. That which I am seeking, I am seeking with, that which I am seeking is seeking me also. Right? There's only one power. There's only one God. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. This is a powerful treatment in and of itself. So we do not need to create crucifixion. We do not need to create struggle of any kind in order for us to have a deeper experience of the Spirit, that we can move from good to greater good, to acknowledge that the good that is in our life, and that I am now open and receptive to live in the overflow of life, as Beckwith says, to live in the overflow of good. And God uses everything. God being a placeholder word, right? For that which is really indescribable. I think people need to remember that God is just a derivative of the German Gott, right? Which is a derivative of the Greek, which is, it's all a translation of that which is indescribable, and yet we have an experience of something greater than we are. And so as we move through life knowing that there is a greater expression going on, we have a shift in consciousness. And this, Holmes talks about how this takes the heat out. This takes the heat out from old hurts. And when we do that, what's left is light. Right? So that as people of faith, then we truly can say this too is for good, this too is for God, right? No matter what we're going through. And sometimes that's through clenched teeth, right? This too is for good, this too is for God. Right? But we're still reminding ourselves, and it's good to say these things out loud. Right? Because really anger, even saying it with anger is a catalyst for change. Right? St. Paul said, be angry and what? Not sin. Because it's good to remember that when we're in the soup, like we've been talking about today, and as Reverend Nikki demonstrated in what she was speaking to earlier, that when we open up to the divine, then we have a whole different experience of life, that the Spirit within us is so powerful that it can rise even after the most devastating of circumstances. The most devastating of circumstances. And you can fill in the blank within your own life what that devastating circumstance has been for you. And as we take that knowing that God uses everything, the joyous expressions as well as the challenges, and as people of faith then, we can step confidently into this field of life, knowing that there are right now, lay before us, this field of infinite possibilities for good. And that the only thing necessary for us is to step into it. Now, it's not an act, sometimes that's a physical stepping into, like into a new job situation. But even then, the first step begins in thought. So that Holmes says that the man, the person who can control their thought can have and do what they wish, what they are wishing to have and do. And that everything is theirs for the asking. Everything is ours for the asking. So we know that there's but one power, one presence, one source, one life, and that we are one with it. In fact, we're more than one with it. We are an expression of it. That we plant our feet fully into that idea and know that we are planted within this creative process known as the mind of the divine. That we can make a demand. In this book I've been reading, it even uses the word command, right? And it goes through biblical examples of how the master teacher commanded this law to work. After first recognizing his oneness with the divine, and also that this power is doing the work. It's the infinite power doing the work. It's the finite mind directing, like a flashlight, right? So we're not the light, but directing where the flashlight lands, right? And so our task then is to make sure that that light is landing on the things that we want rather than the things we don't want. Because you have a mighty consciousness and you will demonstrate one or the other. And so we can become then, right? So not only Peter who is the rock from which we build this church, but that each one of us is the foundation by which the living spirit, the living intelligence, the creative impulse of the universe can do its thing by means of your life and mine. And that when we do these things together, whether it's in spiritual community, in civic activity, or as a global citizen, we can change the world. So let's call our musicians forward. As we remember this affirmation for the week, the power of God rises in me and I am free. Let's say that together. The power of God rises in me and I am free. One more time. The power of God rises and I am free. So let's take a deep breath on that and just release and allow ourselves as we go through the rest of this day, experiencing this Sunday. Think of the ways in which we can experience our oneness with the divine. To remember that we are playing in this infinite field of possibilities. That our consciousness is united with the one Spirit. And so as we consider living in this space today, how can we take this conscious connection with the divine into our work week to allow this creative impulse of life to express itself fully, completely, courageously by means of you and by means of me. And then come back next week and we'll see how we did. Thanks for listening.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. sin. Well, I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows, yeah, surely to the sea. Darling, so it goes. Well, some things are meant to be. Take my hand. Take my whole life through. 'Cause I know I can't help falling in love with you. No, I can't help falling in love with you.
Thank you, guys. Such a nice song. Nice work. That was good. Thank you.
Nicely done. Let's give it up for Jason one more time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there was some pretty snappy drumming going on behind there, too. Yeah. Whatever you were doing there. Were you actually doing that with a stick or doing it with your mouth? That was pretty fast.
Oh, no, it's a stick.
Oh,
It's called the Purdy Shuffle after Bernard Purdy.
well, there you go. So give him some love on the chat. Yeah. So there is one other thing that I wanted to point out. So if you are looking for membership, whether it's here in the service today or online, the person to contact is actually here today, one of the co-chairs, Kathy Theodore. So if you're wanting to do an online thing, you can drop me a line at revmike@cslgh.org, and I will forward that on to her. If you're here in the center today, you can she was the young lady who was checking you in today. Also, since we are getting ready to do the offering, so it is time, talent, and treasure, and we could use, I think we're moving towards opening up a little bit, which means we need folks to step up into Seva, because right now we don't have anyone. So if this is something that you would like to do, you can send an email to me, and I will also pass that on to Kathy, whether it's simply being part of the check-in crew or any of the other stuff that we're going to need handled as we begin to open up. Also, we want to do do want to wish Chloe a happy birthday. So come on up here, Chloe. Can we sing her happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chloe. Happy birthday to you. All right. Yeah, it's the 6th anniversary of her 21st birthday. So 27. All right. Well, good. All right, well, it's okay. You have the 24-hour period to celebrate your birthday beginning
In
now.
Lithuania, you get to celebrate for 3 days.
Oh, let's all go to Lithuania. All right. All right, so it's now time for our offering. So if you have come prepared to do an offering in person, just make your way up here one at a time. If you're online, there are many ways to give. If you hit that donate button, it'll take you to PayPal. It looks like that. If it's on your phone, it looks like that. Still is the same website. If you are on our YouTube channel, it looks like that. You can donate through Facebook. And here's our snail mail. And again, I so appreciate the faithfulness in your continuing generosity to the center that has not only held us, kept us afloat, but really has allowed us in many ways to thrive. As you may know, I work with many churches in Southern California, and we truly are blessed to have the community, to have the consciousness of you supporting this community with your time, talent, and particularly your hard-earned treasure. So we deeply appreciate that. And now to give you time to do that, we're going to do our offering chant.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through you, Spirit receives through you. Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Yeah.
Okay, so taking a deep breath together, just allowing ourselves to be present and to recognize that this basket is a representation from all the ways in which your generosity makes its way to the center, whether here in person, through the mail, or electronically. And that we recognize now that these gifts are really propelled by a consciousness of the generosity of the giver that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so we, representing the heart of this community, accept these gifts with deep respect and love, as we know together they go forth not only to support the mission and vision of this center, but the lives of anyone connected to it in any way, that we extend this blessing to folks here in our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, and their parents as well. And that we know that for the planet itself, that all of it is an expression of this crazy cosmic expression of the divine mind of the living spirit. And in this way, we see it, as we know this to be true, we see it demonstrating in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of power and grace that propel us into ways of spiritual living that raise not only our own life, but the lives of those around us. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So let's thank Mr. Jason Goldstein one more time, our featured singer, our music director, Mr. Ken Francis. Thank you. We have Evan in the back along with Michael Carlin. And I'm going to, can I ask Mike and Tamara to come up here for a moment? Just stand in front of and face the camera. You're not used to being on camera. So can we get them online here, Mike? Yeah. So these two beautiful souls have been were the heart of our AV effort for how many years? 3, 4? A bunch, right? Along with Mike Carlin. And so we are just so grateful for the work that you've done. The fact that we have been able to do this whole online thing, that you've been a very key component of that. So we appreciate your contribution that way. And I know that I join all of us in knowing that this infinite power and presence of the divine is now propelling you into your next great expression in Henderson, Nevada, and beyond. That prosperity beyond your wildest imaginings is showering upon you beginning now, and that we know that you are expressions of radiant good health as you step into this new life together. After how long you guys been together? 30 years? All right, another 30. Why not? You know how to do the first 30? So we're just knowing that for you. We feel so blessed having shared your life with us. And so we send you with love and thank you.
We love you guys. We're truly going to miss you guys.
Yeah.
We really are.
All right. Thank you. All right, and with that, Reverend Nicole's going to pray us out. Thank you for sticking with us today.
Beloved community, just with a grateful heart, I say thank you for the service, these wise words, knowing that as we go forward during our week, any challenges are just opportunities of growth to stay in the now. And as we go home and we celebrate this beautiful day, we reside in our happiness, our joy, and just remembering this blessed music, that it's a perfect day. And I just release my word to the law that always says yes and loves me so deeply. And together we say, and so it is.
Would you please stand, and we will all sing together the peace song. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. That was meant to be, with God as the power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace.